You are Locked On Red Sox Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, the Red Sox open up their 7-game road trip at Fenway South in Baltimore Thursday night. Sox managing just 7 hits, lose the opener to the Orioles 5-1. Red Sox bats not doing a whole heck of a lot against Zach Eflin and the Baltimore bullpen. With that, we welcome you into our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer, calling over 1,000 games in the minors. Spent one glorious Saturday in the show calling Padres-Dodgers from Dodger Stadium on ESPN's national radio broadcast a couple of summers ago. Ellis Burks, one of my all-time favorite Red Sox players. We are providing reaction to every Red Sox game on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, as well as the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which you know is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Another loss. And here on our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we're going to discuss Nick Pivetta's outing. That was a positive. Rafael Devers, Jarren Duran, they're both struggling at the plate. And another minor league veteran making his MLB debut for the Sox. We want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers. Join the conversation, watching live on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. Join the conversation. How do the Red Sox turn this around? How do they do it? Is it as simple enough as turn the page on this season and turn the calendar to 2025? I'm not there yet. I'm close. You can also hit me up on the X, at Lennox on Baseball, with questions or comments. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. 7 base hits. Orioles take the opener. They continue their dominance this season against the Red Sox. They just keep beating up on the Red Sox. Easy enough. Business-like, their approach on Thursday night in the opener. Wilyer Abreu, the first 2 hits against Zach Eflin. A single in the first inning. Eflin retiring 9 of 10 to start. And Wilyer Abreu in the 4th inning gets the Sox on the board with a solo home run. His second in 2 games. Hit Utah Street. Not many hitters do that. Abreu, number 14 on the season. And just like we saw in the finale against the Rangers, the Red Sox answered against the Rangers when they scored in the top of the inning. Then late, the Rangers had answers and plenty, scoring 3 in the 9th inning. And yes, I'm revisiting Wednesday night. I walked away from that game and walked away from our Locked On Red Sox postcast Wednesday night. And I almost had to remind myself, the Red Sox did take 2 out of 3 in the series against the Rangers. But I also quickly said, okay, well, it was a 2-4 homestand. You did lose the first 3 against the Houston Astros. So Abreu hits the home run, 1-0 game. Pivetta pitched well. He really did. But touched up by the home run ball. Gunnar Henderson, 2-run shot in the bottom of the 4th inning. His 31st on the season. His 6th career home run against Red Sox pitchers, and 3rd this season against the Red Sox as well. And then good teams add on. Right now, the Red Sox aren't playing like a good team. They are a good team. They're a potential wild card team right now. They're not a division winner. You see what a division winner looks like. Zach Eflin is now 4-0 in his 4 starts since coming over just before the trade deadline from the Tampa Bay Rays. Eflin, Pivetta, former teammates with the Phillies, and he pitched well. But again, the Red Sox are making, and Eflin had a season high in strikeouts, but the Red Sox pitchers, or Red Sox hitters right now, are making average to above average pitchers right now look like aces. Arrighetti, Brown, final 2 games of the series. Even Dane Dunning lasted a lot longer and gave Bruce Bochy and the Rangers Wednesday night more than they anticipated, more than they could have possibly have expected in that start. And with that, Rangers bats helped them stick around. Robertson got roughed up, but Yates got the job done again once they took the lead in the top of the 10th inning. But Henderson, the home run, 2-1 ball game. And anytime right now in this rough stretch, and really it's a rough stretch that goes all the way to the start after the All-Star break, anytime the Red Sox fall behind, it was a 2-1 ball game at that point in time. It feels like they're down 6 runs. Cedric Mullins adding on against Pivetta. Mullins had a home run in the 5th inning. That made it 3-1. Bailey Horn gave up a run. Chase Sugart, we'll get into him. MLB debut. But the Red Sox, not a whole heck of a lot of hitting. They've now dropped 6 of 8. 1-6 this season against the Orioles. 1-6 against Baltimore. Red Sox are 14-14 now, 500 against AL East opponents. The Orioles are now 27. They've played 40 games, 27-13 against AL East opponents this year. They've thrived against division rivals, Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Rays. I think they have a winning record against all 4 of the teams in the division. Pivetta went, and I'm going to get more into him, but in the 1st inning, gave up a leadoff single, got a double play, struck out Gunnar Henderson looking. Hit by pitch, stolen base, got a couple of strikeouts in the 3rd, left a runner stranded in scoring position, but then giving up the 2 home runs to Henderson and Mullins. Something's got to give, and right now it's the home run ball. The Orioles are a team right now leading the majors in home runs. They were tied going into Thursday night's action, 2 more adding to their total. Yankees idle. But the Red Sox, we know, in Camden Yards to left field, or to right field rather, for left-handed batters, home run haven. To left field, tough to hit it out of Camden Yards now with the adjustments they've made at Camden Yards over the last couple of years in left field. No longer can an outfielder get right to the wall, kind of jump up and make a catch at the wall. They've changed things around, and not for the better either. There could have been, if they wanted to make the adjustment, they could have done it without going to the extreme that they did at Camden Yards. And I'm going to get into, maybe you caught it at the beginning, I'm going to get into Fenway South a little bit later on. That's the are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me for a Thursday night? So the majors' best team in terms of hitting home runs in the Orioles' last couple of years, they've got the young hitters. We know that in the lineup. And they've got the guys who can hit the ball to the ballpark. And right now, Red Sox pitchers have difficulty keeping the ball in the yard. And again, just 2 home runs. And at that point, a 3-1 ball game. But again, you make the starter. And I'm not taking anything away from Zach Eflin. Eflin, 6 innings, 1 earned run allowed. 4-0, as I mentioned, in his first 4 outings since being acquired from Tampa Bay. That's a good pickup for the Orioles. But you can't get into their bullpen. He goes 6. Bullpen called upon to get 9 outs. Their bullpen hasn't been what the Red Sox bullpen has been here since the All-Star break, but it's been shaky, and they've added to that bullpen. But the bullpen gets the job done. And there's a big number of the night coming up in our 3rd segment. I was thinking about this one, and we're going to bring that one up. Going to get into Nick Pivetta's night, plus Chase making his MLB debut as well. That's all coming up next. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast as the Red Sox fall 5-1, brought to you by Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to the first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying Major League Baseball tickets at your favorite stadium. Game Time app features last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. Easy to find and buy MLB tickets, and for every kind of event in your area, views from all seats in the venue. Lowest price guaranteed, even cancellation protection, job loss protection, and more. What are flash deals? Well, flash deals allow you to save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or event. Game Time app features a lowest price guarantee, or Game Time is going to credit you 110% of the difference. You can take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first pitches. Again, download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets and the lowest prices guaranteed. So the Red Sox fall in Baltimore. Orioles continue their season dominance against the Red Sox. Hey, a reminder, keep up with everything involved with the New England Patriots and preseason Pats football with Mike Debate and the Locked On Patriots, part of the Locked On Sports Network. Pats' second preseason game Thursday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike has reaction. Locked On Patriots postcast coming soon as well. Mike has you covered with all of the Patriot preseason storylines, including Matthew Judon getting traded to the Atlanta Falcons for a third-round pick. Locked On Patriots with Mike Debate available wherever you get your podcasts. We're going to get into Nick Pivetta here in just a moment. Tyler O'Neill out for a 12th straight game, calf infection, targeting Sunday and the series finale in Baltimore or game one of the series in Houston against the Astros on Monday. Nick Sogard not in the lineup. There was no update on Sogard. He came out of the game, remember, late in Wednesday night's loss to the Texas Rangers. Calf tightened up on him. Sogard was not in the lineup. Masa Yoshida dropped in the lineup. That was noticeable. Hit into a double play late in the game. And, I took a look at Masa Yoshida's contract, 18.6 roughly for the next couple of years. I've heard a lot of people sing his praises this season. And he does do some things. And I don't forget the big home run that he hit at Yankee Stadium a while back. Tied the game. They ended up winning it in extra innings. But Masa Yoshida, at just under $19 million per year, even at second base, in a ball that was hit to left field, he's just a station-to-station guy. Ripped the ball to right field early on, or I think it was like the third, maybe fourth hit against Eflin. Hit it to the wall in right field. Now, granted, it was a good carom, and they got the ball back in quickly, but he wasn't looking like he had a home run, I don't think. I didn't see him out of the batter's box. They didn't show the replay, or at least I didn't see it. But I don't know. I want a lot more from Masataka Yoshida. I really do. I'm just up there right now on him in terms of just it's not bringing a lot to the plate for me. I know he's loved, but noticeable tonight that he moved down in the batting lineup as well against a right-hander. Orioles top prospect Jackson Holliday back with a big league club over the last couple of weeks. Remember, he made his major league debut at Fenway Park back in April and went 0 for 8 with 4 Ks in that series. Wasn't long with his first stint in the big leagues. Now, Eflin, Pivetta, two former teammates opposing one another in the ball game on Thursday night in the series opener, both pitching with the Phillies a few years back. Pivetta, little extra rest, 93-94 with the fastball. And I'm going to tie something in here that I read earlier today and I kind of shook my head at. But Nick's night overall, again, he showed improved velocity. I went to Baseball Savant and kind of looked at his numbers as he was done after 5. And, the 5 innings, I thought, okay, come on, get him one more, the bullpen, let's see what we can do here. But on this particular night, after his velocity was down his last outing, they skipped him, he had a little extra rest. 5 innings, I understand. Let's see if he can now build that back up and go 6 or 7 next time out. But I looked at it on Baseball Savant, and Pivetta, giving up the 2 home runs, exited after 5 with the Red Sox down 3-1, bullpen giving up a couple of runs the rest of the way. According to Baseball Savant, Pivetta threw his four-seam fastball 42 times, 47% in his outing. He maxed out at 95.8. Now, I don't always go to these numbers, but I thought they were interesting tonight. He averaged 93.6 with a four-seam fastball. He only got 1 swing and miss on the four-seamer. He got 5 swing and misses on the pitch that I just don't like, the sweeper. And what I looked at with the average velocity between his curveball, his sweeper, and his slider, you usually want anywhere from 7 to 9, 8 to 10 miles an hour difference between your pitchers. That sweeper doesn't give you much of a difference. Sweeper, slider. Baseball Savant says he throws both. And it was only a mile or 2 difference between the sweeper and the slider. I found that interesting. Again, he went 5, gave up just the 3 hits, but the 2 home runs, his demise, 6 strikeouts, and Pivetta now 5-8 on the season. I touched on Eflin, and again, Eflin picks up the win. He went 6, gave up 5 hits, 1 earned run, season high 8 strikeouts, and he didn't walk a single batter. His pitch count was down during the course of his outing as well. The at-bat of the night for me, it's kind of an easy one. And my process is as I get into the 6th, 7th inning, I write my little game report for the YouTube Locked On Boston YouTube page that we put up. You can read that there. I try to put some interesting things. I do steal information. I put some links in there as well. But as I'm kind of getting into, it's the sixth inning. Red Sox are now batting top of the seventh inning. I start thinking to myself, I've got to come up with an at-bat of the night. I like the at-bat of the night. I'd love for you to participate in the at-bat of the night. If you're not with us on the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, but you've watched the Red Sox game, you can hit me up on the X and give me your at-bat of the night. Maybe I need to promote that a little bit more as we continue to build our audience with Locked On Sports Boston and the Locked On Sports Red Sox postcast. Again, Locked On Boston and Locked On Patriots postcast is coming soon as well. But on the top of the seventh inning, the Red Sox got you thinking right there, right? That seventh inning, first and third, one out. Romy Gonzalez comes to the plate, pinch hits for David Hamilton. Tying run at the plate. 2-0 count, the pitch in Gonzalez's favor. And I'm thinking, okay, something positive right here. At bat of the night turns into a 6-4-3 double play. Inning over. So that's my at bat of the night for the Red Sox. The Romy Gonzalez, as he hits, Romy Gonzalez has been big off the bench in many different ways. But of late, at least, Thursday night does not come through. Players Weekend. This caught my eye. Players Weekend, Friday through Sunday. Not indifferent to it. Feel like they could do more with it. Major League Baseball and the Players Association. I do like the things they do. If they put the nicknames on the back of the jerseys again, some guys get very creative. Sometimes guys try to get a little raunchy with a little innuendo, perhaps. But I'm wondering, I know they're not going to put the nicknames on the back of the jerseys. Maybe that's when I'm long and gone from this earth. Maybe that's when they do it full time. But there are certain things that they can do around Major League Baseball that'll be a part of Players Weekend, and it's a whole weekend this weekend. There are some things they could implement and have them over the course of 162. I got off my mind a train of thought, and I do want to bring this up because I was talking about Pivetta, right? Pivetta, velocity up. 5 innings. Hadn't pitched, again, skipped through last time through the rotation. Goes 5 innings. Did you happen to see, and it's like it's floated out there to get the response of people, and I didn't even click on any of the articles. I will, but Major League Baseball is eyeing the idea of making starting pitchers, and this isn't brand new and just breaking on Thursday, August 15th, the middle of August, as we approach Labor Day. This didn't just come out. It's been, Rob Manfred has thought about this. But a starting pitcher in the future could be required to go 6 innings on a night where you're trying to protect Pivetta. He gives up the 3 earned runs, doesn't qualify for the quality start. But I understand the reasoning why he didn't go 6 innings. You build on it. He has to build on it. Yes, he only missed 1 turn through the rotation. But how in the world are you going to do that? Just like the NBA where, you know what? They've got to play a minimum number of games to qualify for awards. If you want a pitcher to go 6 innings, if you want a starting pitcher to be a starting pitcher, I don't want to hear that it has to happen at the amateur level. Your minor league organization and your player development, that's where you have to establish starting pitchers again. How many starting pitchers present day on 30 major league rosters do you know that have multiple guys who can work out of there's one jam? As soon as there's a sign of trouble, there was already activity even before Pivetta was in the mound. I think there was activity for the Red Sox in the 4th inning. He went 5. You want to build a starting pitcher up to 6 and have him go 6 innings? Do it in the minor leagues. And I'm far removed from minor league baseball, but it was my world for almost a decade. And I saw other organizations and their philosophies and how we're going to protect arms. You know what? When they protected arms, it didn't work. It actually was to the detriment of the pitcher. They'd end up with an injury. Could have been season-ending, some career-ending. But if you want your pitchers, you want your starting pitchers to be able to go 6 innings, plain and simple, you've got to do it in your minor league system. You've got to build them up. And something else you have to do in the minor leagues is you have to allow pitchers to work out of jams. Pitchers don't know how to do that anymore. Verlander, Scherzer, enjoy them while they're here. Kershaw, not as much anymore. Those guys used to know how to get out of jams. Now, first sign of trouble, double barrel action. Soapbox right there. I was on it big time. Tigers earlier in the day on Thursday. Not scoreboard watching, but I am scoreboard watching. Tigers completing the series sweep over the Mariners. So the Mariners and Astros vying for the AL Western Division title, and we'll touch on this, I'm sure, plenty next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, when the Red Sox are in Houston. But right now, the way it's looking, the Mariners are falling off again. They're behind in the division lead in the AL West, and they're also falling behind again when it comes to the wild card. Royals were off. So that's the number one team that the Red Sox are looking up at in the AL wild card standings. So even without playing, the Royals pick up a half game on the Red Sox. So the Red Sox again losing 5-1, and the stretch continues. 6 losses now in the last 8 games, 500 through their first 28 against AL East opponents as well. You see it right there. I got a little creative, I think. Are you kidding me? That's next. Glad you're with us. Locked On Red Sox Postcast, Locked On Sports Boston, your team every day, presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. All you have to do is pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections, watch the winnings roll in, get in on the daily action with your friends, and become part of the Prize Picks community today. You can now earn up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn your $10 into $1,000, a grand. If you're looking for promotions, Prize Picks has you covered every week, from lowering select player stat projections on Thursdays to help your lineup hit, or by getting your entry fees back if you have a losing lineup on Fridays. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, the code LOCKEDONMLB on Prize Picks for a deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. Prize Picks. Yes, it is that easy. Hey, Prize Picks, Game Day, and Liquid IV, our sponsors here on the Locked On Red Sox postcast, with the Red Sox losing in Baltimore to the Orioles in Game 1 of the series. And oh, by the way, Corbin Bird's on the mound Friday in Game 2. We get to that in just a moment. I wish I had it in front of me. My wife went out to a local market, Walmart. Yes, I dropped the name there. And we picked up our first box of Liquid IV. I haven't had it yet, but I'm ready to go. We know summertime includes baseball, the snacks, salty snacks, and the sweet snacks as well, ice cream, popsicles. When you're talking about America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor, a surefire summertime hit. You can get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powered hydration brand in America, because baseball, summer, and summer flavors and summertime go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. Find all your favorites and your favorite flavors on the website. Acai berry, lemon lime, pina colada. Tear, pour, live more. 1 stick, 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink, 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. Steve Lennox with you. Hit us up on the X, formerly known as Twitter, at Lennox on Baseball. Leave your comments. How are we fixing this right now? There's no magic formula. Guys, the bullpen have to pitch better. Starting pitchers have to get going. And the bats have to get going as well. Jarren Duran, rough night at the plate. Rafi Devers, rough night at the plate. Duran, 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts. 1 for 9, 4 strikeouts. And his first 2 games since the suspension. Rafi Devers, few and far in between, and not a lot of opportunities with runners on base for Rafi Devers of late, but he went 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times as well. Devers is grinding. He's absolutely grinding 100%. How he is able to move forward and complete this season, I don't know if the Red Sox really fell out of it in the next 4 weeks. Devers could be shut down for the final 2 weeks of the season. It seems like it's that serious. Hey, Chase Sugar made his major league debut for the Sox. 2 2/3, 1 run, 3 hits, couple of strikeouts, threw 44 pitches, and he got the Red Sox through the 8th inning. Alex Cora did not have to go back to the bullpen. So Chase Sugar, tip of the cap. In the big leagues, former Longhorn pitcher, drafted, I think, 12th round by the Red Sox back in 2018. So you can call him a minor league veteran. And trying to scroll through my notes here for just a moment, bear with me. He's not the first. The Red Sox have had Slayton, 26, Boozer, 31, Uwasawawa, 30, Westbrook, 28, Horn, who pitched on Thursday, 26, Sogard, Gasper, and now Sugar, all making their big league debuts. These are the veterans in the minor leagues, and I'm glad they're getting opportunities. But realistically, how many of these guys are going to contribute to the Red Sox in 2025? They're getting their opportunities now. It's almost as if, and I'm not trying to be nonchalant about this, but it's almost as if they are, I mean, pro athletes know it. They're pitching for one team, but they're auditioning for the other organization. It's in baseball. Guys I just mentioned, hoping to stick around in the big leagues for a few years. They're auditioning right now for the other 29 teams around big league baseball. And how many pitchers, how many players have we seen this year? I don't know if it's any higher than it was last year, but guys are DFA'd and they're picked up immediately by another organization, where that organization thinks maybe we can hit lightning in a bottle. And I'm not even sure when they pick up a guy, July, August, that they're thinking maybe this guy helps us through the rest of the season. No, the Red Sox could look at a waiver claim right now, and you're thinking just help us bridge for a couple of weeks. Help us just bridge for a couple of weeks. Right now, this 10-game stretch, and it's been a stretch since the All-Star break, 4 with Baltimore, begins with a loss on Thursday night for the Red Sox. 3 in Houston, that series underway Monday, then 3 at home against Arizona. Then you've got the Tigers. You've got 5 games, actually, at Fenway, with a completion of a suspended game from the first half of the season against the Blue Jays. That's coming up on the schedule. But you've got Baltimore, Houston, Arizona right now. Arizona and the Padres, 2 of the hottest teams in baseball. And it could be worse. The Red Sox haven't dropped 10 in a row like the Pittsburgh Pirates. That losing streak in a blink of an eye. And you've got a guy in Paul Skeens, who number 1 pitching prospect, number 1 prospect in all of minor league baseball, up. That guy right now, pressure in his lap to end a losing streak. Red Sox haven't gone as far as going in the tank and losing 10 in a row. But you just kind of look at it and you think along the lines of where this team is at. Now dropping 6 of their last 8 games as well. All right. Are you kidding me? Steve Lennox with you, Locked On Red Sox Postcast, again, part of the Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel, your team every day. Are you kidding me? I opened it up with sarcasm. Red Sox opening up their road trip, Fenway South. Camden Yards has been referenced as Fenway South in the past. I like the name. But that crowd, Dave O'Brien, Lou Merloni, first Nesson reference, I really did try to get it to our third segment. I'm proud of myself that I got us there. But they mentioned early on, crowd still arriving. But on some of those camera shots and the angles down the right field line before the foul pole, empty. They actually panned into the upper deck. Empty. None of those seats down the baselines filled in all that much. And you could hear Abreu hitting the home run onto Utah Street early on to give the Red Sox a 1-0 lead. You could hear the fans and the Red Sox fans there. Now, were they there in big numbers? Was it 50-50? No, I don't think so. But it was a small crowd. I didn't get the paid attendance. I wouldn't believe the number anyway. But are you kidding me with that crowd on a Thursday night? The Red Sox are in town. Your team is battling for first place in the AL East. You've got some of the most exciting young players in baseball, and that's the crowd you get. And I looked it up. The Ravens weren't playing Thursday night across the street or down the road, whatever you want to call it, in the vicinity, in the area of Camden Yards. That one shocked me. So that's my are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Liam Hendricks expected to start a rehab assignment on Sunday. The hope right now is to get O'Neill, Casas, Hendricks back, where you're not looking at being 4, 5, 6 games behind whoever's occupying that third wild card spot. And that's realistically, a while ago it was, hey, be greedy. Go for the first wild card. Be greedy. Alex Cora said, let's go for the division title. Those things right now are not realistic. You're looking at the third wild card. You go from there. All I want the Red Sox this year in 2024, really, and I'm clamoring for it, get there. Play after 162. Just get there. That experience, to me, is important. I don't know that I put the same weight in terms of importance than I would have in previous years. Just different. But just get to October and then see what can happen. Win that first series. Move on from there. Get postseason at-bats. Understand situations. Then next year, when the one is really that you're there, after you go out and spend on pitching in the offseason, you bring the minor league guys up, and those big prospects are all right there, and you're going to win 95-plus games. You're going to be closer to 100 wins than 90. That's 2025. But get there this year for Duran, Devers. Get there this year. That's the one. That's what I've been clamoring for. But this 10-game stretch, Baltimore, Houston, Arizona, doesn't get off on the right foot. Hendricks again. Liam Hendricks expected to go rehab assignment on Sunday. Now, I saw two different ways. And the way I saw it, it was Hendricks, 7 appearances. Well, to me, that's 7 innings for Liam Hendricks. Maybe he goes 2 innings in 1 outing. I don't know that they need to stretch him out that far. He's a 1-inning guy. I don't even know if he's your true 8th-inning guy immediately. But if you can give him the 7th, and he's just going to give you a different intensity. He was throwing BP rounds, and he was acting as if he was pitching in October on this just completed homestand. He's going to bring something different. Is that going to have a positive effect on other guys? I don't know. He's been around this team enough where if he was having a positive effect, we would have felt it. Red Sox 7 base hits. Single-digit hit totals now in 7 of their last 9. And here's my big number of the night. All right? This is my big number of the night. I was eyeing this, I think, in the 6th inning. Here's the number of the night for you. All right? The number of the night is 124. I don't keep tabs of it. I'm not going back and looking at the previous whatever number of games the Red Sox have played. They've now played 120. They've got 42 left. I did that math real quick right there. You should give me credit for that. All right, Lennox. What is the 124? What is that number of the night? That's the total number of pitches thrown by Eflin, Soto, Smith, Perez, and Cano for the Orioles. Their 5 pitchers threw a total of 124 pitches. 124. That's not a season low. It's, I don't know what it is, but that's a low number of pitches. That tells me the Red Sox, I don't know what the on or off and 4 percentage was. How many long at-bats Red Sox hitters had against Eflin and 4 relievers? I didn't break that down. I didn't take the time. I apologize. But 1 walk against 5 pitchers and 124 pitches. Can you go in the post game? Could you go with the hitting coaches and say, hey, our plan, we're striking out a lot. We know that. And the Red Sox have had stretches where they've struck out 10 or more times, multiple games, right? But they're not where the Seattle Mariners are. They're, I think, top 5 in terms of number of strikeouts for hitters this season, but they're not where the Mariners are, who have just all season long struck out 10 or more times. The Red Sox average is probably, I would guess, between 8.5 and 9.5, somewhere in there. I'll have that for Friday night. But 124 pitches through 9 innings, that is a low number of pitches. So that's something I'm going to pay attention to the next couple of days. Are they working deeper counts along the way against Corbin Burns, who goes in game number 2 of the series against Cooper Criswell? Again, nothing favors the Red Sox for game 2 of the series against the Orioles. Criswell, last time he made a start, he was terrific. That was back in July 23rd at Colorado, at Coors Field against the Rockies, went 7 scoreless innings, then went to the bullpen, then went to the minors, COVID. Criswell's probably a guy he might be dealing, the after effects and may not be 100%. It was a bad case of COVID for Cooper Criswell, and the Red Sox probably very fortunate that didn't hit other guys on the active roster. But Criswell goes up against Corbin Burnes. Criswell did make a start against the Orioles back in late May. 4 innings, 7 earned runs allowed. Red Sox lost the game at Camden Yards 11-3. Burnes, impressive numbers. 12-4 record. Started the All-Star game over Tanner Happ. He's got a 2.71 ERA. His ERA at home just over 2. His ERA on the road is 3.30, so a run plus better at Camden Yards. Left-handed batters. A lot of lefty bats in the Red Sox lineup. Left-handed batters hitting just $1.99 against Corbin Burnes so far this year. 12 wins, I mentioned, 2 victories against the Red Sox, and 14 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, and 11 Ks in his 2 outings so far this year against the Red Sox. Dom Smith, 0-for-10 career against Corbin Burnes. Connor Wong, 3-for-5. Cedric Mullins, he's been quiet. He might get his hits, and a single hit, and he had a 6-game hit streak snapped on the homestand. But Cedric Mullins, 0-for-6, 3 strikeouts against Corbin Burnes. Jarren Duran, 1-for-8, 3 Ks. Rafi Devers, 0-for-7 against Burnes in his career as well. Cooper Criswell, Corbin Burnes, 2 right-handers for Game 2 of the series. Again, Criswell back in the rotation. He'll be activated Friday. That means there's going to be another move as well. Coming off the IL with COVID, that'll be another bullpen game. Cooper Criswell, if he gives you 5, be ecstatic. I would expect 3 or 4 innings. I don't know that he's ramped up, and he might get into the 3rd inning all of a sudden hit a wall. That illness might still be, again, he's cleared to go and everything. He's ramped up and ready to go. But I don't know how long Cooper Criswell goes against Corbin Burnes on Friday night. I'd like to be surprised. 5 innings, I'll take it. I'll take it and run with it. Thanks to our sponsors, Game Time, Liquid IV, Prize Picks. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast follows each and every Red Sox game. Boy, I'm looking at the clock. We went long. We do thank you for making the Locked On Red Sox postcast your first listen every day. Again, free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Also, subscribe to our Locked On Sports Boston YouTube channel. We go live after every single game within minutes of the final out of each and every Red Sox game with our Locked On Red Sox postcast. Again, Red Sox lose 5-1. Locked On Sports Boston, your number one place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team every day.